What's going on, guys? Daniel here, and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to do a quick video for you talking about how I store my electronics safely when they're not on my boat. So as you can probably see, I have an HDS Live 9 right here on my console, and I also have a mount at the front of the boat. I'm not sure if it's in this camera angle, that I also have another HDS Live 9. All right, so those electronics are super expensive, and most of the time you can get away with keeping them on your boat. You know, they take a lot of beating on the water, so a lot of people say the road isn't any worse for them. And I have a lot of buddies who keep them on their boats 24/7. But there are certain cases when you need to take them off, when you're traveling, when you stay at hotels, and you know it's just the weather's super terrible, or you know you have like a 30-hour drive ahead of you. In my opinion, you know, it's probably better just to take them off, store them, and you know, keep the abuse away from them, you know, as much as possible. And for the longest time, I just threw them in the back of my truck. They took up space in the back seat, and you know, they would fall around. And one time, one actually fell out. It moved around on the ride, and when I opened up the back seat, it fell out and hit the ground. Luckily, it didn't break, but that's when I realized, you spend thousands of dollars on electronics, you should spend money to protect them. And so I did a lot of research, and this was the best way that I found to protect them. So as you can see, this is what I ended up deciding on. This is a big, heavy-duty protective case that I store my units in. I've got some stickers on it right now, but you can, you know, get the whole 360 view. It's a super heavy-duty case. It's got a big handle on the front of it, double latches on either side. It's technically waterproof and shockproof and all that good stuff. And this did not break the bank. I did a lot of shopping for it, and I found it on Amazon for like maybe 110 bucks or so. And so I'll do a close-up here on the boat for it with you guys, so you guys can see exactly, you know, what's inside of it. But I think it is the ideal, you know, storage solution for your electronic needs. All right, so as you can see, here it is on my boat with a little bit more of a close-up. It's got two heavy-duty latches. You just undo them like that. It's also got a pressure knob here, so if you want to tighten it up and really, you know, get the pressure down in there and seal it all the way up, you can do that as well. I don't necessarily use it for its waterproof capabilities, but you definitely can. One really nice thing is this allows you to be able to stick your units in it, know you're protected, and then toss it in like the bed of your pickup truck or something, where you don't have to worry about it banging around, hitting anything, or getting wet, because you know this case is protecting it. So once we open it up, you'll see that I've got both my units in here with space in between the units. So if you're interested in doing something like this, one thing I'm gonna tell you is measure how big your units are and how much space they're gonna take up, and then figure out the interior dimensions of the box, because you wanna have extra space in between your units and all edges, so that when the box bangs around, your units hit this, you know, cushion, or this foam for extra cushion. You know, if it was so tight in here and the units were touching each other, they would then, you know, hit each other and, you know, cause more damage. So one thing is you definitely want to make sure that they have foam in between them. But the super nice thing about these types of boxes is generally the roof you can't do anything with. It's all, you know, basically one sheet of foam. But once you get in the inside of it, you can cut out the foam to your exact dimensions. All right, and you don't even need to custom cut it. These boxes are so nice nowadays. You know, this is the IBX brand, but you can get any type of brand of box. I know Pelican makes really nice cases, and there's, I'm sure, a ton of other nice brands, but I just didn't have enough money for it at the time, and this does the trick for me. But all these boxes are generally the same, whereas the foam is split up into little squares. I don't know if you guys can see that, but all these tiny little squares. And so what you do is you just sit your units down in here, you trace out the pattern of how big the unit's going to be, and then you just take a knife and cut it real quick, and it cuts like butter. And then, you know, obviously your units fit really snug into them, and when you close it, they're obviously very, very secure. So I know that's not super complicated stuff, but it took me a while to, you know, realize that this is probably the best solution if you are going to take them off the boat. And for a lot of guys who do have to take them off for security purposes and stuff like that, I mean, this is a no-brainer. You're gonna spend thousands of dollars on electronics. Why not spend a couple $100s to make sure they're protected? So hopefully that helped you guys. I know this took me a while to figure out, but I think it's super useful, and I figure a lot of you guys haven't heard of it or seen this method used as well, and I wanted to share it, and hopefully you guys found this useful. If you did, please like and subscribe on my YouTube channel and this video. A like and a subscribe go a really long ways right now, as I'm almost at like 60 subscribers. So one day I'll hit 100, and then hopefully we'll go up from there. But thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.